Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Cole here, and today I am bringing you a guide on how to get to round 30 on Nacht Der Untoten easily. This is a map that not many people play much because they think it's too difficult, they think there's not enough given to them to survive, and they think that there's no good training spots, etc. So in today's video, I'm going to try to show you guys how to easily get to round 30 plus every time that you play Nacht Der Untoten. This is a strategy that does take a bit of time to learn. It's kind of tricky at first, but once you get it down, it's super easy. And once you hit round 30, you can just repeat this strategy and go as far as you want with it. There are people who have used this strategy to go past even round 1000 on this map. So I'm going to try to break it down for you guys in a very easy to understand way so that you can do this yourselves in your own games of Nacht Der Untoten. Without any further ado, let's get into this. So right as you start up your game, this is something that most people who have played quite a bit of zombies will already know, but on round 1, you are only going to have 6 zombies, and this is the lowest that their health will ever be, allowing you to kill them in a single hit from the knife. And a knife, rather than giving you 60 points for killing a zombie by shooting it in the body, or even by getting 100 points for shooting a zombie in the head, a knife kill gets you 130 points. So to get the most points that you can on round 1, you're going to want to knife zombies, and you're going to want to build up a few barriers just to get, like, I think it's an extra 40 or 50 points you can get on round 1. It's not many, but it helps. So generally, you just want to kind of maximize your points on round 1. Now, as you go into round 2, a lot of people approach this round differently, but what I like to do is I like to put 8 shots, the entire clip from the pistol, into the zombie's body, which will get you 80 points. It's 10 points a shot, and then knife them, because once you put 8 shots into them, their health will be low enough at that point that you can kill them again in one knife and then get another 130 points. So round 2 is kind of the same thing. There will be more zombies, but that's kind of the easy way to approach it. And once you run out of bullets, it's still only a 2 knife, so they're not that hard to kill. Now, round 3 is where things kind of start to change up just depending on how your game goes. If you were lucky enough to get a double points on either round 1 or 2, then you probably have 3,200 points by now. If you have 3,200 points, then skip ahead a tiny bit and open up the doors that I do and go buy the Thompson. If you weren't lucky enough, like I was in this gameplay here, then what you're going to want to do is go over to the wall where I do and buy the M1A1 carbine and use this gun to get yourself to 3,200 points. Now, whenever you get yourself to 3,200 points, go to the end of the round, and then while the round is switching, go and open these doors that I do here, and go down into the bottom room on the other side of the building, and go to where I do and buy yourself the Thompson. Now, this is where the game really does become a lot more luck. You're just going to want to hit the mystery box until you can get yourself the flamethrower. Now, you don't want to get the flamethrower because it has the best damage or because it's the best gun for killing zombies necessarily. You want to get the flamethrower because it has infinite ammo, which makes it super helpful for going to the high rounds when all your other guns are going to start to take all of the ammo out of them just to kill one zombie, and eventually not even to kill a single zombie. Along with that, you're going to want to get yourself what's referred to as a mobility weapon. Now, the only 3 mobility weapons on this map are the Colt M1911, the Thompson, and the ray gun. I would say for the majority of players, you should get yourself the Thompson. I would say if you consider yourself a more skilled or a more careful player, go for the ray gun, because the ray gun is great for killing zombies really quickly. However, you can also kill yourself in one shot from the ray gun if you shoot it too close to yourself. So I would only go for that if you are a very careful player or if you're a very skilled player. In this game, you will see that eventually I do get the ray gun and I do use it, but that's because I'm a more careful player and I'm comfortable using it. For most players, you're going to want to use the Thompson. Now, once you've gotten both of these weapons, you have finished setting yourself up for the map. Since there are no perks and there are no way to upgrade your weapons, these are the weapons that you're going to want to stick with for the rest of your game. Now, things that you should consider when playing Nacht is that with there being no perks, there's no quick revive. So when you're playing solo, if you down, you're done. There's also no jug, so you down in 2 hits no matter what. Since you are also playing World at War, whenever you get hit, you'll kind of get sucked into the zombie, so it's very likely that if you take a single hit, you're going to die. So just be extra careful when you're training. So let's talk about training. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back into the spawn room and make sure that you never open the door that connects the spawn room and the room that the box is in. The reason that you do this is because you don't want zombies running in behind you while you're training. You want to keep them all coming from a predictable spot so that you always know what's going to happen. What I like to do that I don't see many people do, but I find it helpful, is at the end of every round, make sure that you board up that window that is closest to the door, because for me, that just keeps zombies from coming in from behind me as long as possible. If you can avoid it, it's worth avoiding. So the train that you run in the spawn room is kind of tricky. I'll play clips of me running the train in the spawn room just so that you guys can get like a visual idea of how to run it, because it's really weird to get used to at first. I remember watching so many videos of people running it and just being like so surprised that they could run that train. But when you actually do it yourself, if you know like the path to take when you're running it, it's so easy. It looks so hard and it's so easy. So just do what you see me doing in the clips and you should be fine. Now, just some additional tips for when you're training. A, make sure that when you're running around, have your mobility weapon in your hand. The reason that they're called mobility weapons is because they are the lightest weapons in the game. While you're holding them, you will run the fastest that you will at any point in the game. The flamethrower is a heavier weapon, so you run pretty slow with it. So you just want to make sure that you're holding either your ray gun, your Thompson, or your starting pistol, whatever you have. The next thing that I want to point out is just be careful and kind of pick when you shoot the flamethrower. You always want to make sure that you're in a spot you're very comfortable with, running backwards, especially when you shoot the flamethrower at your horde. It's just like, it's so easy to get caught on stuff and get stuck on a corner just because you're not really fully prepared or not comfortable, whatever it might be, with where you are. So you just want to be sure that you're being careful about that. Another thing is that if you're like me and you like to run the ray gun on this map, you can use that pretty much whenever it has ammo because you're going to put the zombies down faster. But make sure that if you do start to get overwhelmed, you do start to run the train, you can still use the ray gun to kill them, but just don't get too cocky about like standing in one spot or barely moving. Just make sure that like if you're getting overwhelmed or when you're reloading especially, just run the train. Just don't be stupid. Also, when you grab nukes, be super careful about this. Most zombies maps, zombies can't hit you if you grab a nuke. It's World at War, so they still can do that. If you get a nuke, you can still get hit. Just don't let that be the thing that kills you on this map. Another thing is when you're running the train and you get into that little corner, like under the stairs that you see by the other window, and then you run around and you kind of cut close to that little corner on the wall. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Just be sure that you sit as close into that corner for as long as you can, just to get all the zombies kind of over to one side, because if they're filling up that whole space, you're not going to make it through, you're going to get stuck, and you're going to die. Also, insta-kills are huge. Always save your nukes and your insta-kills for the beginning of the round if you can, or if you're still pretty early on in the round, use it. If you think you can finish your round without picking them up, do it and use them on the next round, especially insta-kills, because if you whip out the flamethrower with an insta-kill, you can take out your horde so insanely fast. Another thing that I want to say is just don't use grenades. They're not going to do anything for you other than potentially kill you. And along with that, if you get Molotovs out of the box, never use them because they have a giant explosive radius, and if any of that so much as touches you, it will instantly kill you just like the ray gun. And with all that being said, you guys should now have all the knowledge that you need to get to round 30 plus. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you can get to round 30, you can go as far as you want on this map. You can take this strategy all the way into the thousands. You can take it so far. So if you did enjoy, or if you did find this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I would like to do more of these for more zombies maps, so definitely support the video if you want to see stuff like that, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I put out more stuff like that. Other than that though, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll hope to see all of you guys back here next time, and goodbye.